And we're live. Yay.
Oh my god.
It's battle time.
Like that sort of battle?
Sure, could be, maybe.
Help me! Don't blow my ship! Help! Any sort of battle, right? Welcome, welcome
Welcome back.
to Things and Bobs. Bobs and Things.
According to the thumbnail, I guess this is multiverse.
Multiverse madness. Yes.
Yes, okay, cool. Any ships from anywhere battling it out.
Much guessing to be done.
Yes.
That's
Well, not
okay.
guessing. Not
Well,
guessing.
very true.
Informed discussion.
Professional bullshitting. I mean, professional knowing. Yes. Yeah. And what's the the text say up there? How can people get double the value, Stuart?
Well, $5 to throw in 2 ships, but if you want to PayPal and throw in $5, you get double for your money. It's pretty simple.
It's pretty simple.
Throw in 5, you can request like 2 different battles. Just saying. So yeah, trekyards@hotmail.com. Send us
Yes.
PayPal. It goes further for you guys, for us, and just it's a good thing all around.
It is. And we're here to have the conversations. You know? Yeah. Yeah. And you are welcome to also put in some famous ones. A lot of you guys like to put in odd ones, and I get it. But sometimes a classic Star Destroyer versus could be quite fun. Just saying. Right? Like one of the best ones we had recently was the X-Wing versus original Viper. Super interesting debate. Doesn't need to be necessarily as big, bold, or radical. Just saying.
Shaking things up a bit with that. Just saying.
Yes.
Well, we actually have our first one from Olivia.
Oh.
With $5. The Andromeda versus the NX-01. You must really like the NX-01, Olivia.
It is a common thing. And I guess it does make sense to put in Trek if you want, because of course, when do you talk about Trek otherwise? In terms of multiverse, so.
All the time.
But in multiverse, though.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I guess that's fair.
Yes. NX-01 versus Andromeda. Boy, the scale disparity on that is absolute madness. The next one's a small craft, relatively speaking. Andromeda is several times higher, taller than the Galaxy class, so it's real big.
Pretty sure that the Andromeda would just kick ass in this one. The NX-01 is way too primitive as far as weapon systems and stuff go. And I think the Andromeda it's not really a contest even, really. Can they even see the board yet?
No, I was busy in the picture. Because speaking of boom, oh no, oh not boom, boom. There you go. There's a new board. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's gonna need some tweaking, but it's the final version-ish layout wise. That's not just not finishing touches.
Well, it's first time using it, so
Yes,
have the old teething pains. Yeah,
indeed.
how far off are these bad boys, would you say?
I'd say very far off. Andromeda is, like I said, pretty advanced tech-wise, so
Just a
uh,
bit.
you still got some white on the right side of the board there. Yeah, I think
Oh,
it's not even a contest. Like using the legendary status of Archer and crew, you could, give them a slight advantage in a few areas. Maybe they
maybe.
can diplomatize themselves out of a situation. I don't know.
Yeah. Uh-huh. I mean,
Baslos, Basilo says, but the NX-01 had a transporter. I mean, sure. What would you use that for
Yes,
specifically in a battle situation?
but we've got a Hulk.
We don't, though.
No.
We don't. They don't. Someone does.
And just a heads up, Stuart, I can't get the email because it wants a code.
What?
Yeah, so I'm gonna send you. You need to send me your email that the verify is on via Facebook, and then I'll make you a code, and then it's st@gmail.com. So put that in the chat. Our chat, obviously, and I'll get you a code, etc. Yeah, Andromeda versus NX whilst it does that. I do think it's one of the rare one-hitters. I feel like Andromeda would fire its bigger weapons, just obliterate the shields, while hull plating the NX-01, and also cause damage. And then in one hit it's listing, and then either it nudges it or shoots again, and cause a kablooey. It's radically differently powered. I mean, I would be disbelieving that the what's it called, the even the E would have a good time against the
Andromeda. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I think the technology is just too different. So what do you want me to do? I don't understand.
That's fine. That's what it's asking me. So give me back that information, and then I'll send you a code, and then you'll send me about the code. Yeah. Yes. But yeah, I mean, and even speed wise, what's is it Slipstream that Andromeda can do? Slipspace maybe.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Can't remember.
Yeah. It wins real easily. If I'm funding fan films at some point, I would like to put Andromeda in something. I would love to see it kick some bottom. It would be great. Folgor says Andromeda is 4,300 meters long. Just so we know what we're talking about. Yeah, it's if you're looking at sort of to scale, if you're looking at sort of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, if we do these battles to scale, it'd certainly make you well aware of, oh no, they might not win, kind of thing.
Yes, if we do them to scale. Okay.
So yeah, Stu, you've just got to send me that email address.
There's no email, so
no, you've got to send me that email address, the one that's blurred out, so I can input that and then send you a code. It doesn't tell you the email.
Oh, for fuck's sakes!
Yes. Harbored invent transporters. Yeah. What do you guys think? Do you think the Andromeda would win? Okay, vote now. Okay, code sent. Vote now. Andromeda or NX? But now as we get sorted out, and put into PayPal your ideas, and we'll versus them up and do our big old debates. And like I say, put in some interesting ones for both Trek versus and not. There might be some, and you can be minutia if you want to go for a specific episode version, like a Deadless, when it's got this tech or a Mothership in this version sort of thing. Then yeah, let us know. Ray Riggs, hey, Ray's here. Hi, Ray. I'm drawing a one shot.
Already also sent a PayPal, so
excellent.
That I am. There's your code.
Thank you, buddy.
I don't know why that's a thing, because that has nothing to do with PayPal.
No, I just wants to me. It's an occasional reminder of security. Okay, super. We're back. But damn.
Perfect. All right. Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. Andromeda's definitely gonna win that one.
Yeah. Nice start with Andromeda because it never gets any love this show. So yay. Yay for. Okay, if you want to read out the PayPal while I get the images.
It's Mr. Roy Ricks, which is awesome. And he says Orville versus the Enterprise D. And for the second one, Space Above and Beyond, Hammerhead versus the Babylon 5 Star Fury.
Ooh. I'll let you move them into place. Interesting. Interesting. Ah, okay, good.
Well, the Orville and the Enterprise D, I think, are very similarly matched, if I'm
Hmm.
honest. Seth MacFarlane basically he made TNG 2.0, and his ship is equivalent, I think, in a lot of ways. It seems a lot smaller than the Galaxy class.
I would say so.
More on par with like the TOS Enterprise, honestly.
Well, it is very
But
long though. Like it's
it is
actually.
rather long. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think size-wise, the Galaxy class outclasses it.
Yeah.
But we've seen the Orville take and deal out some punishment. Super maneuverable. It's probably faster. I don't know if what their faster than light systems are in comparison to warp
6.
drive. Sure.
Right.
I just realized how much the Orville looks like just a sandal. Just
Yeah.
looks like a bit of like an UGG. Um,
Sure. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. They've I think they're very comparable weapons wise though, because I mean we've seen a lot of the things that the Orville is capable of, and I think it would definitely outclass a TOS Constitution class
Yeah. 100%.
easily. Not quite sure power level wise and damage output wise how it would scale with the Galaxy class, but I think maneuverability wise, it's definitely got a leg up on the Galaxy class easily. Um, yeah, I'm running out of things to say.
I was waiting for you to stop so I can jump in. Yeah, this is a really interesting one because the Orville I feel like is not a warship, even if it's tactically able. Capable, yes. Warship, no. Whereas the Enterprise D has all the hallmarks of a very powerful. You know, you can mistake it for a warship if you weren't thinking too hard because it's got torpedoes, phasers, really good firing arcs. Like I don't remember any aft weapons on the Orville. I remember having pulse cannons at the front and a missile launcher, but nothing side or back. Does
Mm.
anything ring a bell to you?
No, not specifically.
Yeah, whereas all the firing arcs. But Orville, I mean, as you always call it, hugging the donkey, absurdly more maneuverable. I mean, I would be I would be 2 or 3 times, right? The D is just a big fly straight, hope we don't hit anything, and the Orville thing's just throwing around. So I think into that it's super outmatched. Weapon wise though, I
In
kind
torpedo full spread from the Galaxy, it's a pretty impressive weapon set. So
again I'm having a hard time remembering. Does the Orville use bubble shields or hull shields? I can't visualize at all their shields. Yeah, exactly. They don't do that many battles in Orville, right? It's not really a battle show. So my gut is that the Enterprise D outarms it. And guys, that's what you think. If it's Orville or Enterprise D, I think the Enterprise D out tacticals it, but Orville maneuverbles it, so it could probably dodge torpedoes relatively straightforwardly, but being hit by phasers. But if you can really plan your attack moves, then shooting on a certain area with really high-end weapons for the Orville is effective. Fighter-wise, of course, if you can launch its fighters from Season 3, those are pretty capable versus shuttles. But I think to me it all depends on their shields. If their shields can take the other's bombardment, because weapon-wise and maneuverability, that's what the game is to me. What do you guys think? I'll just do the poll as well.
let's say they have deflector screens. So
Great.
yeah.
Yeah, and I know I'm biased, but my guts is Galaxy just for overall ability set.
Plus the ability to saucer separate and effectively become two ships against one, should they need to. So yeah. Yeah, I would say that the Enterprise D would take it in the end. But you got to give the Orville credit. It's tougher than it looks and tougher than you think, based on what you would assume from that size of ship.
If it was in something like an asteroid field where it'll block fields of view from the galaxy, like it'll create an anomalous battle, and the Orville's maneuverability can kind of go around and do things and plan around the battlefield, right? I think then strategy comes into play, but a straight dust up, right? I feel like Galaxy has more, even though it's what 2500s the Orville, but it's of a different universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good shout. This is definitely an intriguing one because, but I would say if you threw in the Leviathan class from Orville, I think that would have to win because that is a proper bruiser, right? That thing is designed to be the guy. So I'd be shocked if a Galaxy could take it out.
Well, yeah, it's a dreadnought, so
yeah. So there you go. What do you think? You gonna back me up on that?
Yeah, I think so. Yep,
All
I think
right.
that's a very fair assessment.
Yeah. All right, and the poll is 100%. We're gonna close that because we never got 100% away. We got 100% shit. Woo!
Yay!
Never happens, guys. Never happens. All right, lovely. Next, and you got the pictures up top.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
it
Throw
is
some Defiance
a
in. I'd love to put Defiant.
Star Fury versus the Hammerhead.
Yes. Do pop that as well. And guys, super chat for the verses or PayPal for extra value.
Don't know enough specifically about either one of these to really make a call here. I'm sure that they would definitely be good a good pairing or a good battle between the two of them. I would assume the Star Fury is a little more advanced because the Hammerhead just feels like a regular day fighter jet just thrown into space, essentially. Um, whereas I don't know, there's something about the Star Fury that just feels more futuristic and dynamic. But again, I don't know the weapons capabilities of each one. I just know that one is very grounded in reality, with that being the Hammerhead, and the Star Fury is, again, feels alien. So yeah, if I had to guess, I would go with the Star Fury, just because it looks cooler, and I think it should win.
If you want to research the weapons on the Hammerhead for a second, I'll do my spiel. Just on what class of weapons. Because I know I wouldn't consider Star Fury advanced. Because in the world it's on a lower tier. But given lasers are standard, it's lower tier in terms of what it's made out of, but it's still got lasers and advanced targeting. Kind of like a TIE fighter, right? It's advanced in that regard and its maneuverability. Hammerhead, I assume its missiles will be pretty damn effective because they're designed for space combat. They're not just... It's like BSG missiles. They're not just standard payload. They've got more oomph to them, right? But I assume the Hammerhead uses bullets. That's why I want clarification. Because it uses lasers, and I feel like it has more weapons. Because Star Fury only has those two standard cannons. Which might be very powerful, but it's not flexible in the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And maneuverability... I don't know, what's easy to hit? One that can move more radically, or one that's got less of a profile? Because Hammerhead's pretty damn sleek, right?
That depends on your targeting systems.
System. But
Yeah, let's see here.
But then if you've got a ship that's absolutely designed to do this, and then do this, to flip in the same move, using its very amount of thrusters. So if the Hammerhead is flying by, and all of a sudden the thing can just turn with it perfectly and keep firing.
Yeah.
That's not a thing that 95% of ships can do. So that one thing, but I say that, but this fights all sorts of alien ships, and it always has that problem of not necessarily being up to stuff. So kind of depends what the Hammerhead's on with, really.
So it's got gimbal-mounted electromagnetic railgun.
Okay, railguns.
A dual-barrel aft-mounted railgun as well.
Okay.
Mounted in a turret, capable of auto-targeting and seeking and tracking. It's got 6 different hardpoint attachments capable of carrying Spartan space-to-space missiles, bombs and pods for carrying special electronic equipment. So that's about it. Looks like 2 rail cannons, one fore, one aft, and then hard points for missiles, which you would assume would have lock-on capabilities. So,
Hmm.
yeah, not too much information there. So, mhm.
I would go personally Star Fury but I would think that something about Hammerhead implies to me if they've got a really good pilot, they can go beyond the fighter, whereas and kind of do some really fancy maneuvers that kind of not necessarily match, but counter the Star Fury's silly maneuvering. Because it's not like it's not the best thing ever, right? There are other things that can win against it, but I'd say Star
Mhm.
Fury just because of maneuverability. But I
Mhm.
don't know if that would then, in the exact same vein, definitionally win against like an X-wing, because that feels mismatched. Personally, X-wing has a lot more oomph in my brain.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what
Yeah, I think it'd be a close one and basically come down to pilot skill, perhaps.
I was gonna say.
But
Pilot skill, yeah.
I'm not sure the versatility of the Star Fury because with the different mounting hardpoints on the Hammerhead, it's a mission specific. It could go in as a bomber, it could go in as a
Yep.
fighter. Um, so there's a little more versatility there, maybe.
Yeah, like I say, I wouldn't consider Star Fury versatile at all. It's just a
Yeah,
very bog standard mass-produced fighter that they have, 12 of to help fight other fighters.
yeah.
I mean, not to say it's not good. It's just standard, like a Tie fighter. It's just effective. But
Mm,
yeah, specialist laser guns have probably got to win. Laser cannons. Yeah.
yeah.
But what does the poll say? 75% Star Fury. So there we go. Audience agrees.
Nice.
Good stuff. All right.
Skip that out of there and that out of there. Next up, we've got Olivia with $5. Sam, the code is 000. Destruct 0. Also, the Delta Flyer versus the X-Men. Oh, this is not much of a contest.
I mean, Luke, of all us, Luke will totally win, right?
Well, if you're including the Force in there, I don't know. That might be a little bit different.
The Force versus Paris's intuition, his feel behind the wheel, space wheel.
Yeah, I mean, okay, the Delta Flyer, you've got warp drive, which I mean, the X-Wing has hyperdrive. That's fine, but I think warp drive might be more versatile. Hyperdrive might be faster. Regardless, you also got transporters aboard the Delta Flyer. You've got micro torpedoes, which are much more powerful, I'm sure, than a proton torpedo. Uh,
Yes.
phasers from the Delta Flyer could probably cut through the defensive shields of an X-wing, no problem.
Hmm.
I have the feeling the output of a phaser is much more significant than the output of the cannons on the X-wing. Maneuverability wise, they're both super maneuverable, I gotta say. I have a feeling that G forces and things impact an X-wing pilot a lot more than they would
Mm-hmm.
anybody in the Delta Flyer.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
I have a feeling the Delta Flyer might edge them out as far as maneuverability goes. Um, yeah, I just don't think I think the shield output from the Delta Flyer would be so significant that it would take the X-wing forever to get through the shields, and not the other way around. I think the Delta Flyer could easily take out an X-wing.
Hmm. Because proton torpedoes are designed to take out shields, aren't they?
Mhm.
Or no,
I, I,
there's ion cannons. Why was it both? And the turbo lasers are good enough to everything else. That's why you bring in the Y wings because they've got more of. They got dedicated those weapons, possibly. Or I'm just thinking big cannon, big missiles. Either way, I feel like those are like. I feel like when they did the X-wing, they gave them really high-end missiles, the equivalent of like properly, you know, terminally powerful missiles. So I feel like those will be pretty effective, not compared to torpedoes, but effective.
mm,
The rate of fire. I mean, you can probably keep firing an X-wing's pew 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 pretty much non-stop, right? In the four configuration. So if you can keep on their target and keep firing as a phaser Z, so that might start to pull down shields. And I feel like the
Mm-hmm.
X-wing is more maneuverable because you can do a lot more sweep, a lot more quick moves, whereas Delta Flyer has more sweeps. So if you can keep on a vector, because a really good pilot can like chase in a dogfight, and they can out dogfight Delta Flyer. So I'm wondering if he could outmaneuver and then keep firing at a quote unquote weaker point, a point maybe near the bottom or whatever, where its weapons aren't able to get the same field of view, right? Whereas Delta Flyer would not think could do circles. That said, could Delta Flyer do that and turn and go back? Maybe. That's a lot of G-force if it was.
Yeah, it doesn't specifically say what they're used against. It just says that they release clouds of high velocity proton particles in a focused explosion when they hit.
Okay, so it's just the standard kablooies.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a bias for me, but I think I'd have to go with the Delta Flyer on this one. Just because I think it's much more versatile. There's a lot more going on. You've got other crew members as well, manning different stations.
This is
So,
true.
and like I said, you can just beam out their astromech droid. Just lock on, beam out the astromech
Oh.
droid, beam out the pilot. I don't know. I don't know how Star Wars shields would affect Star Wars or Star Trek transporters. Um, but I just have a feeling that everything's a little more antiquated in the Star Wars world. I don't know. Yeah, I'd probably say Delta Flyer for this one.
Yeah, like you said, the shield output is going to be measures more. Just leagues more. That's sort of what Trek is known for, right? It's proper high energy. But the question is, and this is a question to the audience, right? Would the phaser of a Delta Flyer be able to hit, pierce, and then cut through? So it can precisely just mow down the wings, and then because the X-wing is designed to dodge bolts, not pinpoint beam and stay. Which is funny because the only beam weapons really in Star Wars were used by the clone ships, and that's super useful. And they never stopped using them again, really. I mean, obviously invented after, but they've been quite useful because they, as we see in episode 2, you can just mow down droids because of course it can, because they're laser beams, right? It's useful. So I feel like if the shields truly are just gonna get gone through. Yeah, I think Delphi wins on most metrics. The only thing I could see is if it was a constant barrage of all weapons on the Delta Flyer, I think the shields would take a beating. But that's a very split use case. Now, more than one, maybe there's more of a attrition sort of thing, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the poll says, with 17 votes, Delta Flyer wins with 88%. Well, there you go. I feel like I've learned a lot there. Are you crowning it, Victor?
Let's see. Guys, hit that like button. Well, we have 21 likes, which is pretty good. Can we get higher, though? If you haven't hit like yet, please hit like. It's 25.
I want to see more likes. That's okay, right?
Got some more from Ray as well.
Yes. But Olivia, the super chat, to wit, is intriguing.
Wow. Sure. $5. Help me out. Stuart's pick versus Samuel's pick.
Okay. Should I just pick something and you pick something to versus it?
Sure.
Okay. Something I think would be an interesting battle. Okay?
Okay.
I'll pick summon. Summon. Oh, okay. Let's see what you can do. A Stargate Aurora class battleship with drones that can go through shields and pretty damn powerful shields. itself.
Okay. Okay.
I know, right? Pick your champion. Yes, as I get the next batch of PayPals lined up. Thank you, Ray. Makes more of a difference, and we get to keep talking. Huzzah.
I'm gonna put it against the Horizon class because I think the Horizon class would wipe the floor with this
Okay.
thing.
Well, let's start the new poll then. Okay, I'm gonna.
Hey, we hit 25 likes. Thank you guys. That's awesome. If you haven't hit like it though, let's see how high we can get those likes up.
Okay, Stuart, go on then. You picked it. Go on then. What? Why? Who wins? Why? Why wins? Why wing? You know.
It's because it's the Horizon. It was designed by like two awesome people, so it's like all cool and stuff. And it's Star Trek, so like Star Trek's like the best out of all the
Is
universes
it the
like
best
ever.
ever?
Yeah, yeah, ever. Plus, so many nacelles on this thing that I mean, it has extras, so it can just like detach them and throw them at the other ship for like as a weapon.
We did see that recently.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I just thought it was a cool looking ship versus another cool looking ship. So
Fair dues. Fair dues.
sure, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. Vote in the poll.
Star Trek should win.
Okay. I mean, quantums, photons, phasers, pew pew, pretty effective. But that's the problem with shield going through drones. It can just go, and then it can fire 100 to 200, so it can pinpoint hit every single window and cause 100 different, you know, explosions to take all the air out. Because you know, remember the ancient ships were designed to be OP protectors of the galaxy. And then the Wraith came about, they could launch hundreds of fighters, so they had to launch hundreds of drones, one of which could seek and find a fighter, and also the Hive ships have armor that's absurdly powerful, so you have to physically go through their countermeasures to hit through. So against anything conventional, it just hits through instantly and causes a kablooey. Now, of course, the Trek can counter that somehow. I wonder what the scale difference is. No, it's definitely bigger than Aurora.
Oops, wrong button.
Because they could science maybe the way out. I don't know. What do people think in this? Unique.
Yeah, I don't know. They're so equally matched, these two. It's a tough call.
I agree, Terrence. Put it in.
But with 15 votes, Aurora's winning, so
Aurora is like the ultimate expression of the you know, bluey, and it can just sit and take impacts and just like, how are we doing? 95%, 95%, 94%. You know, yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Aurora.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Sam.
You break your itty bitty heart, Stuart. Oh.
Oh, sorry. I gotta make this more exciting. So need to get one without a watermark. God damn it.
Yes. Now I will say also, for extra $5 either on PayPal or chat or super chat, we can throw the two ships you've just thrown us and have a versus picture created as well. And I have not tried that on the new Google AI thing, Gemini, but it might work really well. So if you wanna see a battle, it's up to you. All right, back to PayPal.
Yeah, Ray Rick says the Vorlon Planet Killer versus the Death Star.
Ouch. A lot of ouch there.
Uh, Off the top of my head, I say Vorlon just because the Death Star is not super maneuverable. At least you never considered it being super maneuverable. I'm not sure if the Vorlon are, to be fair, but it looks a lot more dynamic of a ship than the Death Star.
With a ship.
Yes, the Death Star has so much internal volume as well. It's ridiculous the amount of personnel and just stuff on there. So even if they do lose, they're actually losing a lot more than the Vorlon would be if they lost one of their ships. So I'm going to say I think the Vorlon have a bigger target as well, should they wish to hit the Death Star. If the Death Star wants to use its beam, it might be harder to lock on to the Vorlon. Just a guess. I'm not quite sure how big the ships are necessarily, but yeah, I just don't get the feeling that well, that's the other thing. You got to make sure you hit that exhaust port. Am I right? So otherwise, it's a pretty heavily armored battle station. So I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. They both will come out on top.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like it's kind of like a gunslinger western. Whoever can shoot first. Because Vorlon, pew, Death Star's gone. Death Star, pew, can Vorlon take it? I mean, the thing's designed to kill at full power, designed to kill a planet very quickly. I mean, we saw Alderaan instantly, right? However, it did that instantly. So I think both have absurd levels of firepower, but I never associate the Death Stars having shields because nothing could fight against it. The concept of fighting it is such an alien concept, right? It's so large without a super weapon itself. I mean, how many superstar destroyers would you need to keep firing on it to go in far enough into the hull to do any meaningful damage? Right? A lot. So this thing can take all the punishment, but the Vorlon, I'm sure, has incredibly good shields for any normal combat. Because does the Death Star have any medium weapons? You know, we see giant super laser and then point defense cannons that they're firing.
Yeah.
Anything in the middle, I would assume that's the point of the Star Destroyers to come in. There's no medium weapons. Right?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, they're more point defense to stop small snub fighters and stuff from getting into where they need to be. But yeah, I don't think there's any.
61% Aurora. Yep, sorry.
Yeah, I think you're right on that front, actually. Yeah, I'm good. I go with my gut. Like I said at the beginning, the Vorlon, I think would come out on top with that one.
And there's also something slightly pernickety, but it's not hard to dodge the laser, right? The thing's designed to hit planets that can't move. All Vorlon has to do is go to the opposite side of the Death Star. It ain't turning quick enough to, right? I don't think Death Star can curve the beam. Right?
Oh, Wanted style.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you got that. So, super easy thing to dodge, right? I mean, almost pathetically so. So I think Vorlon wins on every count, except for the amount of fighters and sidecraft. But ooh, nice. That's really good. That's really good, actually. Yeah, definitely. I like it.
Yeah, but I think you say fighters. I mean, you launch a lot of TIE fighters, but they're easily taken out because they're unshielded. So,
well, if even the ship has, again, in similar logic, does it have weapons that are able to take on small craft? Don't even know. The Vorlon, right? That's what the auxiliary craft are there for, right?
Okay, yeah, we'll call it for the Vorlons for that one.
Nice.
We got a part 2 to raise because he did a PayPal, so you get the 2 for 1, which is awesome.
Everyone should consider it. It's absolutely epic.
Yeah, and it is the Battlestar Pegasus versus the MCRN Sarraco class assault cruiser from The Expanse.
And Vorlon wins with 78% as well, so I'll put this in.
Cool. So yeah, the Martian carrier or cruiser from the Expanse versus Battlestar Pegasus. And listen, as cool as the MCRN ships are, yes, they are battleships. They're loaded with weapons. I'm sorry, but Pegasus is going to win this one, hands down. Much larger vessel. It's got the Viper complement, of course. This is going to make a huge impact in that kind of mission like this. Although I think the Sarraco would definitely take out a lot of the Vipers in the process. So it would be the sky would be filled with weapons fire in this battle. There's I think I'm pretty sure the Sarraco has a railgun or two or three, but it's got a lot of point defense weapons, and I'm not sure if it's primary weapon. Actually, let me just look at that up for a second here.
And I have no knowledge at all. As far as I know, these ships
Yeah,
are.
that's how you go into half of these. So,
Well, yeah. But I assume the Expanse are relatively low advanced weapons. I've seen clips where they use literally bullet miniguns, so I assume their tech is incredibly basic. And while Pegasus is still sort of basic, all their weapons are bullets, but they're all explosive shell bullets, which is, I don't know if they fire explosive shells or if it's just actual just big bullets. And then their giant missiles are extremely powerful. I mean, they're firing nukes. Does this ship have nukes, do you think? Or does Expanse have nukes? Is that a concept that...
oh yeah,
Yeah, okay.
absolutely.
Is it logical this thing could have a nuclear payload?
Yes.
Okay.
Um,
Hmm. Is it maneuverable? Because Expanse is kind of...
yes.
Yeah.
Super maneuverable.
Hmm.
Uses Newtonian physics generally in their movement set. So
Now, is that there to help or to dodge in their universe? By that I mean, does it help them get target lock, or is it just to dodge other fire? Because again, I've seen clips where just railguns are spewing because they know everyone can dodge. It's kind of the vibe I got. Pegasus is there to take hits and then shoot with his big guns and Vipers. Like, this thing is it's a beast for a reason, right? It's armored beyond belief. You ain't getting through that.
I think it can be used for both. I think it's most primarily used for defense though, like
Yeah,
to dodge and get out of the way of stuff.
yeah.
But
Because I would assume that nukes beat railguns. Like, railguns, I'm sure will be more focused, but a nuke is a insanely powerful tech, and if Galactica can survive a nuclear weapon designed to kill them, armor on, just hits it, this thing can probably take several more hits and suck, but be fine. You know.
mhm.
Hmm.
Can't really find anything about the weaponry on this thing.
Hmm.
Oh, here we go.
Ah.
Um, one stiletto light railgun, five light torpedo missiles, five heavy torpedo missiles, 13 Narrowman Dynamics lasers.
Oh, that changed everything. Sorry. Whoa.
Yes.
Woof.
Point defense, five MCR interceptor torpedoes, and 13 Narrowman Dynamics PDC. I'm not sure what that is. But yeah,
Does it say what its fighter mount is?
carrier wing.
Mm-hmm. Because
Uh,
Pegasus is
all it
like 50
says,
or 60. It's a pretty
yeah,
substantial.
all it says is three MCRN chariot dropships.
Hmm.
Total air wing. No, that's something else. This is for an online role playing game, though. I think
Hmm.
it's hard to find anything.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'm gonna vote Pegasus just because it's
Yeah.
literally a huge pew pew destruction machine designed to do some absolute carnage and take absolute carnage, because that's important. That's important. This thing can just take punishment, and I would assume I have no evidence, of course. I'd assume Viper pilots are better trained than these pilots.
I would imagine. Yeah.
Proper war footing,
Different style of training.
different style training. Yeah. And if you are going into like Raptors, there are assault Raptors that can launch like 10 missiles, and they can launch 3 or 4 wings of them. It's a lot of ordnance they can be thrown at them.
Ray is saying that it has 4 to 5 Rossi type vessels. Now, the Rossiante on its own is quite a capable ship. So if it's got 3 or 4 or 4 or 5 of those
Fit
that
in
it
it.
can, I guess. I don't
We're only
remember
counting
that.
in the ship. Otherwise, it's an attacked wing. Then you could start adding other stuff.
Yeah. No, I think he means that come out of it. Yeah. Well, then I'm sorry, the Pegasus might be outnumbered. I don't know. I'm still going to say Pegasus for the win because I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, and if this thing has that level of extra, then you think it would win everything. You know, if each Rossiante is very powerful and then it has 3 of them, it's like a Defiant carrier, right? Well, then it wins anything anyway. So I'd imagine this must be some... Like, if this thing's literally got 3 giant ships inside it, it can't have much space for anything else. You would think, right? So I think it would be less powerful because it's holding stuff, right? Whereas Pegasus, of course, it's 2 pods, is distinctly separate, right?
Well, we said it. The poll is saying it. The Pegasus is going to win by 86%.
Okay.
14 votes.
Aha, we are not ridiculous. Aha.
Well, we are, just not right this second.
Aha. Excellent.
All right. Next up, we've got Kyle Wong with 5 pounds. The Dalek versus a Borg drone. Well, neither one are ships, so it doesn't really matter now,
Dalek
does it?
can be a ship. Self-contained, piloted
I guess
fighter.
so can the drone floating in space, sure.
These are definitely technicalities, but you can actually argue both.
They both have an organic element to them. I assume all Daleks have a thing inside, don't they? I know the leader does. So, well, they're very similar in a lot of ways. So, I mean, if the Borg drone can get near anything else that it can assimilate to assist it, whether that be technology based or organics based, it has an upper hand because I don't think the Dalek can do that. And the Dalek would just be like drifting through space saying exterminate, exterminate, and looking cool and sounding more awesome than it should be. But but one-on-one in a battle, I'm gonna have to give it to the Dalek, I think, because it's got that little shooty laser thing. Borg drone doesn't necessarily have lasers, and if it does, it's just like a pointer.
The low yield kind. Visible
Yes,
spectrum,
yeah.
not disintegration kind. I wonder if you
Yeah,
can
I'm gonna give it
overcharge that to do some damage, though.
maybe. I'm gonna go to the Dalek, I think, just because it is a little bit more offensive than a Borg drone would be. Because Borg drones are meant to kind of come in bulk, as it were, and just kind of overwhelm slowly. Whereas the Daleks actually have the offensive capability to fire at things. And yeah, the Borg drones don't. So, yep, Dalek for me. It's an easy one.
Yeah, it's funny, so they're quite similar. They're not very similar at all, really. One is just a converted person who's individually only somewhat useful, and one is a tank.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Now it's interesting the one-on-oneness of this. In this battle is really only interesting in forces versus forces because, as the chat is saying, they meet on a battlefield. Dalek kills the Borg in 1 hit, no issue, not even a question. Boom, dead. It'll take him less than a second because the Borg can't adapt to that. But the Borg can adapt to more weapons. So the question is, can the Dalek adapt their weapons to the Borg's adaptation? And then once they've slaughtered, 50 or 100 Borg potentially, and they're now adaptable, can the Borg then assimilate the Dalek? Maybe. So one-on-one, it's a joke, right? It is a zombie versus machine gun wielding Rambo, right?
Yeah.
It is not anything. It's only in numbers is going to play. And same thing, a Borg sphere versus a Borg versus a Dalek ship, where again each person is a weapon, And you would like to think, in the silliness that we've referred to a couple of times, you can shoot the floor under Borg. Right? So if these things have the power of a disintegration ray, just shoot the floor, Borg go flying, then continue, right? And the Borg, do you have shields? Can the drones get through shields? Maybe, yeah.
Well, the Daleks can also hover, if I recall correctly.
Hover and have shields.
Yeah.
Right, like I said, full tank. So, can the Borg get through the shields of Dalek? I don't know. No? You know? Yeah. But once you got one Dalek assimilated, then it's bad times. Because Daleks are normally explicitly identical in terms of what they've got tech-wise. So if they got Dalek tech in their hive mind, then bam. Right? Everything's done.
Yeah.
So it's a very much like a off a cliff moment. There's a point of we win and boom, done. They won't win. But yeah, Dalek, I mean, I'm surprised it's so 40% Borg because it's not even 1 second. It's kind of like the Andromeda and NX. Right? Now, if you said Hughes Borg, who can run around and go pew, maybe, but they can't adapt. So, yeah. Who said who said Borg? Who said who said Borg in this? I'm interested to see why. And Tim says a machine gun can take out a Borg, yes, and a big ass bullet can take out a Dalek. Explosive round, sometimes. Or a bazooka can.
Its head exploded.
And then exploded. But yeah, I mean, interesting. So it's a good comparison of a nightmare fuel, you know. One that never talks, one that only says one thing repeatedly and gets really, you know, oh no.
Yeah.
Nice.
Dalek for the win.
Yes. Right.
Olivia throws in $5 and says, pick one in the chat versus Discovery.
Oh, okay.
Do we have to?
Yes. Okay,
Guys, hit that like button if you're just joining us. 31 likes. Let's get those likes up.
Yeah. All right. Watch we fight Discovery, Stuart. Pick one in the chat, and I will.
Let's see.
Yeah. Who be versus Zing?
I'm a look. Can't see anything really great. Micro Voyager.
Okay.
Ray Rick suggested Micro Voyager, and Olivia said yes, Micro Voyager it is. So there you go.
Right. Okay.
You remember Micro Voyager, everybody?
I'll even use our thumbnail because it's the easiest thing to use and show.
Perfect. So yeah, I mean, Micro Voyager would win.
Oh. Well, bam. Yeah, this was, of course, from a universe where everything's micro. Go into our universe and got stuck in an alien. Apart from that, we can assume it's a normal Voyager-esque ship. Just in a universe that is smaller.
All you'd have to do is get inside whoever the current captain's head is, whether it be Lorca or Pike or Michael Burnham, and explode their brains from the inside. Because this is microscopic. Like, this is tiny. So the Discovery wouldn't be able to target it externally if it was outside. I mean, the Micro Voyager probably couldn't even see Discovery. It'd be too goddamn big. I don't know. It's an impossible battle. But sometimes the small things are what can affect the larger thing. Go and take out a lot of circuitry, start phasering all the circuitry in Discovery. They'd get eternally lost. They'd spend 70 years at their highest warp speed, moving from one end of the turbo lift cavern to the other.
And still not me done.
Yeah, and still not run into anything. So I don't know.
I mean, you do know, Stuart. You do know. You do.
Sure.
You do.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Voyager. Micro Intrepid. Sorry.
Yeah, this one feels. There's gonna be some. If you're writing this as a fan thing, you'd give some bullshit mycelial summon, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, of course, when you add the mycelial bullshit, it wins. But without that, I mean, there's got to be some logic of a tachyon spread, which allows a microship to expand its weapons 150,000 fold, and therefore hit the door button of the Discovery's engine room, and then go inside, and then go inside the warp core, and then create a fire the tricobalt torpedoes, and those will open the
I
second
would
door.
just I would just hope that they would hit the button for the shuttle bay door so they could actually close it,
Nope.
which would
They
discombobulate everybody aboard Discovery because it's never closed, and
can't.
totally incapacitate the entire crew.
It can close.
So
Yeah, if Micro Voyager can successfully do something really dangerous, cool. But if it's so absurdly small, its weapons are so meaninglessly small, I honestly think it's a draw. In the sense of, right, the rules of the game. Yeah. Because it's
yeah,
not like mini. It's not like the runabout in the small one. It's truly. Yeah. I'm gonna say draw.
yes,
I'm gonna say draw.
perfect. I'll agree to that because there's no way that we could actually come up with a winner in this one. Sorry. Anyway, all right, moving on. Get these out of here. Get out of here. Next up, we've got Majin Shenron.
Oh.
5 pounds. A Jem'Hadar battleship versus a Star Destroyer. Star Destroyer, Jem'Hadar.
That's interesting.
Again, though, I'm gonna have to go with the Star Trek universe, man. I
Not
think
biased at all, we promise.
Well, we know the Star Destroyer has a bunch of, well, obviously TIE fighters, a lot of fighter escort, which could swarm, but the Jem'Hadar also have the bug ships, so which are shielded, which would outmaneuver any outperform any TIE fighter hands down. Actually, one bug ship could take out squads of TIE fighters, if I'm honest, because they're unshielded, essentially. Let's get some interceptors in there, but I think TIE interceptors versus a bug ship, it's still no competition. Bug ships will take those up pretty quick. So there's that. Also, the Star Destroyer has a bunch of point defense turbo lasers and stuff for ships that are attacking it, smaller ships, because you don't. Well, first of all, I don't think the Rebels really have anything big enough to get in up close with these. It's always going to be small ships coming in and attacking. I mean, yeah, the Rebels do have a few larger ships, but then it becomes like a pirate ship battle at sea, firing cannons at the side. But I don't know what the Star Destroyer has in regards to that would be powerful enough. Unless it's one of the ones from Rise of Skywalker where they got like the big planet destroying thing on the bottom. But other than that, I don't think they necessarily have any kind of major punch in that regard. Nor am I convinced that their maneuverability and speed are anything that could, take out the Jem'Hadar battleship, which is just massive, super powerful weapons wise. And again, I think shielding in Star Trek is a lot more advanced. So I don't think the Star Destroyer would have anything to get through the shielding of the Jem'Hadar ship. So I'm going to call for the Jem'Hadar right now. I think their weapons and shielding is more advanced. And if you really want to nitpick and say it's squadrons of TIE fighters versus squadrons of bug ships, it's still no contest. So, yeah, I just don't see any advantage that the Star Destroyer has.
I love the video you sent me the other day of the scale of Star Wars is broken thanks to people being dumb. So that redefines.
Well, the scale of Star Trek is broken because of Star Wars and people being dumb.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
So if the Star Destroyer size you think it is, that's one thing. But if it's the size that clearly the New Hope intended, thanks to that video, which is tremendous, then it's
Yeah.
like, oh, it's only because if the Star Destroyer is the size of a Dominion battleship, that's one thing. If it's really not, that's another thing. Yeah, I mean the Star Destroyer we know, even though its turbo lasers are side mounted, there's shots where it can just shoot a planet, like they can angle forward at an angle and you just turn the ship slightly and it goes, all to the side, and it will level a city, right? So these things are ground capable, which implies destructive ability.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not, they do that, and anything in the Rebel Armada can't take this. Mon Calamari is like a roughly equal. They've got like 2, and we can't lose any of them because otherwise we've lost the one, right? So it's like 1 is enough to be a whatever. Yeah, TIE Fighter is pointless against the Dominion. Can't do jack, nothing. And then I have no clue if the Dominion has any storage space for bug ships. It's not really that kind of craft, but yeah, 1 bug ship can just wind its way through TIE Fighters, phasering, disrupting everything, easy peasy. But yeah, given the absolute carnage of the forward weapons of a battleship, pew 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 pew, constant rate. Every fire is a ball of ultimate power. I can see the shields of the Star Destroyer being absolutely pummeled, and even if it can launch all of its turbo lasers at a belt, I just see the attrition force of the Dominion being so much more overpowering, because that is the ultimate bad boy, not the standard powerful ship. Everything goes into battleship. Everything, right? It's a powerhouse. It's a single-handed fleet killer. Star Destroyer is a single-handed small fleet killer. And certainly its shields would be able to cope. And I would assume, given the size of the Dominion battleship, its armor is also very, very thick. Right? I never got the sense that it had 500,000 people in it because all the space is filled with space. I assumed it was armor, right? Armor, plating, resources. Not just at the edge you see a window and then for the most of it. So I would give the battleship a pretty significant win. If you have more than one Star Destroyer, maybe, right? Combined fire or different arcs, fine. But I feel the Dominion is a pretty hefty win there, just with the absolute offensive power. Now, Super Star Destroyer, no question, right? That thing is on another level. But this is the Super Star Destroyer of the Dominion fleet, and it really packs the ultimate punch in that regard. Like this thing, I would think could within very few minutes just take out DS9. If it warped in, yes, it would be hit with a lot of fire, but full powder shields, keep firing. I don't think DS9 could even deal with this ship, let alone take it out. But personally, I don't know what do you think about
that. I think that sounds like something that Retro Badger has to try out. Because
shout out.
I think you might need 1 or 2 more extra ships to take out Deep Space Nine, personally. But yeah. It'd be interesting to see. I kind of still want to call it for DS9, though, if we're going to go with that. So, barely. All right. Moving on. We have another PayPal for Mr. Ray Ricks.
Superb.
Oh, let's close the poll on this one. With 14 votes, the Jem'Hadar battleship wins with 71%. So. All right. So Ray says Atlantis with 3 ZPMs. Ooh, versus a Voth capital ship. Well, it's Atlantis now, ain't it? With 3 ZPMs? Come on. Atlantis would have all of its potential unlocked.
Literally.
And just be a goddamn... Yeah. I'm sorry, Voth. Ancient dinosaur critters. Plus, I think size-wise, the Atlantis is going to be much larger than the Voth City ship anyway. So,
I think the Voth is probably longer because the Atlantis is the size of New York, but New York is just the Voth is a as a city as well. So I assume lengthwise it's way longer, but that's a weird metric, right? Because obviously it's like BSG is longer than the Defiant. Well, yeah, it's a longer design, right? They've been interesting comparing. I could do that, but I'm not going to. But I could do that.
Would be interesting, yeah.
This is tricky because Atlantis is only so powerful. ZPMs give it the battery power to do anything and everything at the same time. But you can do almost all of its features with one ZPM at the same power level, right? So it's very clever that way. It's about resilience. So yes, fine. Wormhole drive it can't do unless it has more. But that's okay. That doesn't help them, right? Whereas the shields, yeah, okay. You can have max power for a very long time with 3. Drones, you can launch everything, fine. Atlantis has no non-drone weaponry. So once it's out of ordnance, it's done. So if it's got, it's 10,000 drone storage, which adds a lot to fit in, but it can launch 1,000 drones. I would assume Voth's shields could be anti-drone penetrating shields. Are that advanced? I would assume. But then 1,000 absurdly powerful bombs hitting the shields, I assume we're going to go through the shields, like just through pure attrition, just pure. It's like 1,000 torpedoes. It's gonna get through whatever you have, really, right? But the Voth have all the tech that feels like beyond Atlantis. But Atlantis shields is absurdly powerful. It's kind of like, what tech is better? I'm sure Voth has some really powerful beam weapons and some tri-cobalt quantum plasma phase disruptor pulse Mark 6. Right? Atlantis could take it.
Yes.
But do they have more tech that could, it's not a good example, but in one episode of Atlantis, another race who knew ancient tech could just phase through their shields. So there is ways of working out, if you match the shield harmonics in a certain way, you can go through it. So if they were savvy enough to do that as well, it wouldn't be that, you know what I mean? There's more technicality than just the weapon power. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
But Atlantis is millions of years old. It's really advanced. Voth is tens of thousands years old and very advanced. So what do you guys think? I'm interested about this one. What do you guys think?
Yeah, my gut says Atlantis, so I'm gonna stick with that. Go vote in the poll, guys, and also hit like. We have 35 likes. Let's try to get up to 40 if we can. If you haven't hit like yet, please do so.
Yeah, if the drones can get through the Voth shields, Atlantis wins hands down. If the Voth can't get through Atlantis' shields because they're so powerful, then Atlantis has time to work out a plan. It's only if the Voth have the tech to get through the defenses and or be countered to the offenses. So it's kind of it's a technicality of which advancement is more.
Yeah.
Because there is no side weapons of Atlantis. It only has drones. But they can go through shields. So what else do you need? You need, right? It's like launching 4,000 quantums. That's all you need. Right?
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Very loud snoring puck. Who was dead asleep. Yeah. I still want to say Atlantis, but you guys go vote in the poll. We will see what you guys think. 17 votes. Let's get up to 20.
Yeah, my gut's Atlantis just because it can, with one ZPM, it was able to take on a fleet of hive ships firing full power, destructive, building destroying weapons for like 29 hours. And it's just taking it. Because the Atlantis shields are designed to they don't diminish in power, they diminish power. So they're always at 100%, but they reduce the amount of power in the batteries. So in theory, if they just built another ZPM in the station and replaced it, it could go for another 6 weeks. There's no, it's not that sort of shit. There's no like 30%. It's like we've got 30% power left, but shields are 100%. So yeah, I gotta say Atlantis overall.
Yes. 18 votes, guys. Can we get 2 more?
Although interesting, Poseidon in the chat said a TIE fighter's cannons are as powerful as a Klingon bird of prey. The X-Wing has the firepower of the Defiant pulse phasers. Your thoughts, Stuart?
Bullshit. That's my thought. Where's the proof on that? TIE fighters' guns are the same as, well, as bird of prey, possibly. But the pulse cannon, maybe. Interesting argument. Show me the proof. Show me the proof.
I would also agree with bullshit, just because how many times have you seen a Star Wars film where a TIE fighter fires and it just causes a little petrol explosion on the ground?
Yeah.
That's the level, right? They're designed to not be against shields. If a pulse phaser that's gonna level a building. That's gonna level a skyscraper, right? It's 4 incredibly high power weapons, not 2 fine power weapons. You know, I would not even compare them in terms of power level. I would say it's like if 10, if not 15 times more powerful. Like, that's the point. And the Defiant in 3 hits can hit a bug ship shield, disable bug ship shields, go through a bug ship shields, destroy a bug ship in 3 hits. An entire attack ship's shields and hull in a single 3-shot pulse. That's also because they did that for effect, but that's pretty powerful.
Yeah. Well, looks like we're not going to get any more votes on the poll, but we're going to call it for the Atlantis with 3 ZPMs at 67%.
Nice. That's a good one. That's a really interesting one. 2 uber powerful, just crazy ones.
Yeah. But Ray has another one because he used PayPal, which he gets 2 battles for the price of 1, which you guys can take advantage of as well.
Oh my god!
Shut up, Rich Evans. The Talon from Farscape versus Defiant.
Speaking of Defiant, that was not planned.
No. Defiant. And I don't know much about the Talon, but I know from last time we talked about it, it's very comparable to the Defiant as far as its toughness and whatnot. So, again, this is another battle where I think it's very close, and it's very hard for me to call that because people make the argument that the Talon is very similar to the Defiant as far as an in-universe equivalent. So,
well, and people also make the argument that a Defiant's pulse phasers are about the same power as a TIE fighter. So in that case, I mean, it's not even close.
X-Wing.
Texas. Love you, random person.
Yeah, it's funny. I read that comment and decided not to read it, and then you fucking read it.
That's what I'm here for.
But anyway,
I mean, this is not comparable universes, but I would say the main canon of Talon at full power is easily quantum level. Easily.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, that comparable, you know, as a tank, so boom, boom, boom. And it's energy, right? So it's rechargeable. Defiant is a physical armament. So if it can launch 5 quantums at Defiant, it's going to feel it, right?
Yeah.
But it's a tank. It doesn't have other weapons. So it's... Because originally the... actually, this is really good. I should do a poll for this, sorry.
That's okay. You're on such a roll, too.
Yeah, no, I know. Because the Leviathans, their one thing is that they can FTL away. So they don't fight, they run, and that is their insanely cool tactic that almost no other ships can do anything similar. So this was the ship that was the first one that could do that and a really powerful gun. So it could move quick and leave and shoot. So that's why it was impressive, but it's still not... It's you know, it's meant to come in, do a few big hits. The big hits do huge damage, and then leave or land and do its final thing. So it's very niche. Defiant, of course, has all the plethora of things.
Yeah.
I mean, Talon's smaller, which says something. It's definitely more maneuverable because it's an organism with a living pilot who can be very in tune. So it's going to be able to dodge pulse phases. It's going to be able to dodge quantums. No, not every one though. That's the question. Can it get some hits? And of course, yes, of course. I've no clue of shielding. I've no idea what it has. But I would not think, again, it's meant to dodge. It's not meant to be hit, right? So I think it could really cause a bad day for Defiant, but I would think the Defiant has way more tools in the toolbox leading to a win. But power per punch, Talon wins. That's not a fight. A fight is everything, right? That's my vote.
Very, very well articulated. I like that.
Appreciate it.
Tools in the toolbox. I was going to say something similar that I think there's just, again, I don't know much about the Talon, so it's hard for me to really
It's
say.
been a while since I've
But
seen
it
it as
just,
well.
yeah, it just feels like the Defiant is more of an all rounder. You got shuttlecraft as well, not
Oh
very
yeah.
many, but
Yeah.
quantums, phasers, high maneuverability. Yeah, I don't know. A
Starbug.
cloaking
Thank you.
device. Don't know if the cloaking device would come into play at all between these two in a battle, but
I bet it could see through it. That sounds silly, but it could find something narratively, right? They'd find a reason it could see through it, with
yeah,
scanning.
yeah,
This is the sort of thing that if this was a TOS Connie, I think it would rip through its shield so easily. Enterprise A, same deal, it would just rip right through. Enterprise B, maybe it can take some damage. C is probably comparable, but for me, I think in the Enterprise D era, shields are now comparable, can take the hits. And Defiant obviously has that armor as well. But that's the thing. If it hits so strong, the self-disabling Defiant systems, right? As soon as that becomes into play, if it can have
yeah.
a lucky hit, tear quantums, well, damn. Like, Defiant needs all of its abilities to make ends meet, as it were. That's a good fight. That's a good fight.
Benjamin Stone asks or says Trek bias. I'm not really. I personally am way more versed in what Star Trek weapons can do, not so much the other ones. So I just
But but
tend to lean that way a little bit.
but list the charts: Defiant, pulse phases,
Yeah,
quantums, half phases, half torpedoes, somehow, cloak, warp, ablative hull armor, probably
yeah,
gel packs, Talon. The list is smaller. It's just got more things it can do.
yeah.
But that's a really good
Sometimes
fight.
sometimes it's hard to mash universes as far as technology goes. It's hard to really get a feel for that. So
Yeah, but as I say, TOS Connie, this thing is going to one hit. I would guess. I would vote. But this is not Connie. And our
yeah.
audience agrees. 10 votes though. More of you should be voting. Really, 70% say Defiant. Very nice. I like it.
All right. So the other one that Ray had there.
Mm.
Oh, that was it. Okay, sorry. Moving on to super chats now.
Yes.
Kyle Wong, 5 pounds. Hirogen versus Alien Xenomorph. Is he talking ships or is he talking?
Well, isn't a Xenomorph ship, so
Well, true enough.
Xenomorph.
Yeah, I
And
kind of want to say Xenomorph too.
until a pack was brutalized and they investigated how, and then they work out some anti-xenomorph tech, and then they just break a xenomorph brood. I don't know how to express that. That's my guess.
Well, this is just saying like Alien versus Predator because the Predator is pretty much the same as the Hirogen as far as weapons wise, as well as tactics wise and all that. So it would come down to the individual hunters, I would think, because you could have the chance that the Hirogen would get the upper hand.
Hmm.
But yeah, if it's one on one, I'm pretty sure it would lean towards the Hirogen.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you get packs of them like in Aliens, then you're screwed. So
And it ain't a happy day.
again, these battles are all so close. It's really hard to just pick a definitive winner.
And so much of it is who's the pilot and what extra, or can it remove other features, right?
Yeah.
So often there isn't a thing that has all its abilities. That you need that to be the describer, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would probably say I'll give it to the Hirogen. I think they're smarter, they're more advanced tech-wise, obviously. They'd be able to tactically take out a xenomorph. Xenomorphs are more animalistic, more feral. Um, it's something you can work with and kind of defeat if you're good enough. So I think a good 6 out of 10 times the Hirogen would win. Put it that way.
Like I said, first attack, they're dead. Subsequent meetings, they win quite easily. The Hirogen.
Cool.
I like it.
Next up, we've got Benjamin Stone with 5 pounds.
Good to see you.
Bit obscure, but Goran Shard's pirate Corsair from The Mandalorian versus the War Rocket Ajax from Flash Gordon. Different universes, but similar ships. Perfect, I guess. I don't know. So we'll pull those in. There's Mr. Flash Gordon's ship. And then the pirate ship in The Mandalorian. Style points to The Mandalorian. For realism.
But the Mandalorian doesn't have a giant spike that can spike through people. Come on, you need spike points.
But it looks like a cleave ship. It could cleave. It could just like
across
the hull and
why'd
slice
you say
into
such thing? Oh.
it.
It's funny to have no knowledge of either in terms of what they can do, right?
Me either. But you assume one's like a pirate ship with some cannons that could fire out the side. You know, it's a Mandalorian. It's like literally it's literally a pirate ship that floats. So Flash Gordon, I don't see that being a thing, having cannons out the side like that. Feels 1950s kind of retro vibe to it. So,
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Flash Gordon.
I'm gonna say the Mandalorian ship.
Oh, well, there you go.
Who's gonna win, guys? It's up to you guys. Go vote in the poll.
I think Flash Gordon just has a certain je ne sais quoi.
Just gonna say je ne sais quoi.
I know.
And you pause. I'm like,
Je ne sais what is Sam on about? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so wonderfully who knows, right?
That's what a lot of these are for me, because I might know one ship, the other ship I have no idea about. But people are obviously pitting very similar ships together, at least in their respective universes.
Yeah.
But to bring them face to face, it's like, okay, that all depends on weapons output of each of these universes, etc., etc.
Oh, biting. Yeah, because I felt Flash Gordon, if it's actually a warship as they imply, it's got some really cool guns. Knowing Ming, bit of a dick, right? He's gonna have some really like sucky level killer rays that is really powerful. And Star Wars stuff is very basic, right? This thing I'm sure is just a standard warship, as in, you know, a ship for battle-y. I don't know if it has any special abilities, but I feel like the Ming should have something, and all the table shields, and you know. That's what I'm vibing, Stuart. That's what I'm vibing.
Yeah.
But the audience disagrees with 8 votes, saying Star Wars 62%. Well, you know what? Whatever. Don't need you and your votes in that poll there. So we've caught up, I think, Stuart.
Yeah, yes.
All right, this is your time now, guys, who PayPal some ideas for the verses. We've got another half an hour, so we'd love to get another 2. Do the PayPal will be tremendous. Remember, 5 equals 2 choices, so you can get a lot for that. Let us know some options. I've a dumb idea while I wait for some people. I wait for a dumb idea.
I got a dumb idea.
Oh, perfect.
This explosion versus this explosion.
Oh, okay. Let's do a poll for that, because that deserves it.
Well, one doesn't have a watermark. So that one wins automatically.
All right, poll's up. Vote right now. If you want to be at the poll, Stuart, you can.
Who wins, Explosion A or Explosion Watermark? Dun, dun, dun. No one's gonna vote on that. It's great. It's great. I can't wait to hear your silly idea. Mine was sillier.
It was quite silly, in fairness, yeah.
See, honestly, the watermark one has a lot more depth and richness to it. It's like different layers of explosiveness going on inside that. You know, the other one seems more cosmic in vibe, and it's got that, the ring going out from it, but feels very bright, intense heat. Like the moment of the explosion, the other one feels like the explosion happened a few seconds ago and it's starting to like cool off and coalesce. But the watermarks fuck it all up. So
yeah, it makes me think of a cosmic snap. You know, the one on the left. You know, a Thanos snap. The other one's a kablooey.
perfect. Oh, Explosion A is winning with 83%, 6 votes.
The serious guys, vote now.
Now, does it help if I do this and like rotate it like to have a different vibe?
I do. It might very well do. Did that make a difference, guys? Let us know right now in the chat. Yes or no. Vote now or we'll never talk about this again.
What? Anyway, 7 votes.
I want my my silly one. Let's do it, buddy, a pal.
All right, I'm gonna move these explosions out of here.
But explosion A you won with 86%. So that is a decisive win. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you ready, Stuart?
Always.
Who wins, the USS Pioneer or the USS Nexus? Things we did not name, which is kind of great. And who can remember what the hell this is? Let us know in the chat right now if you remember what I did here. So who do you think is going to win in this epic fight of the ages?
I certainly remember this. Wow. I think the Pioneer might have it, just because it feels like a much larger ship. Kind of has its shit together. Knows what it's about.
Shit together.
It's trying to emulate the Andromeda from a different galaxy, different universe, as it were. So, whereas the other one, which is what was it called, the USS Nexus? Yeah, the asymmetry of it all just screws everything right up, and it's going to be lopsided in battle. It's going to try to move toward, and it's going to just list to the right.
Oh no, that's real bad. Am I right?
Yeah. I mean, these are different classes of ships. Completely. One, the Pioneer is much larger, much grander scale than the other one. It's much more small and kind of probably more maneuverable, I would assume. Not as lethargic and large as the other one. So.
Yeah, I honestly think the one on the left wins because it's bigger.
That's the Pioneer, yeah.
Yeah. It has a real sense of oomph to it, right? As if it's got some really strong undercannons and go pew pew pew, pew 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 pew.
With that extra pew, yeah.
You've got the extra pew, right? You really do. I think the extra pylon on the right Nexus is just gonna be a problem. Just
Yeah, I feel that.
Who remembered? No one remembered. These are AI ships we made with you guys who submitted ideas. As you do. So there you go. Bit of fun. Vote on the PayPal, though, to continue the true madness.
We do. Mr. A. Ricks again. This first one is Andromeda, Wrath of Achilles versus Jem'Hadar Battleship.
In essence, it is the two biggest ships of their respective forces. That is what he's going for here. This thing makes Andromeda look like a child, or at least a teen. So I guess just take one about Andromeda and double it, and now I'll do the conversation. Simple assumption, but yeah.
Well, then I got to give it to the Andromeda universe ship thing. Wrath of Achilles. Because I'm sure it's much larger than even the Jem'Hadar battleship. Because, well, large, I'm not sure. Well, if you're doubling the size of Andromeda for this other one, right?
Well, power level, I was more meaning. I mean, it is bigger, but also obviously it's taller because it's got spikes.
Yeah.
I don't think the middle is going to be super giant, but obviously it's
Power
not.
level wise.
Power
Okay.
level wise, yeah. I don't know scale. I mean, bigger, yes, but it's bigger.
Still going to give it to the whatever of Achilles. The Wrath of Achilles. Because it's got a cool goddamn name, and pretty sure that the technology that exists, well, both in Gene Roddenberry's universes, the technology that exists in the Andromeda universe is probably cooler than the Star Trek universe.
Well, it's less grounded, more fancy, I would say.
Well, that's what I mean. It's more
Yeah.
fantastical, right?
Mm.
So it's going to have some kind of edge, technologically wise, that'll just, take out the Jem'Hadar.
It's interesting. It's interesting, Stu.
I know. I try. Plus, it has this is Lex Hrux Judge as Avatar.
Oh shit.
I don't know what that is.
Well, it's either Michael Shanks or Christopher Judge from Stargate. I think it's Christopher Judge. Tilk. I think he's the guy that is the ship.
Oh, Chris Judge. Gotcha.
Yes. Oh, there you go. Yeah, yeah. Chris Judge, obviously being what's the guy in his video game? Not Thanos. You played them, the PS4 game, PS5 game. He's son, boy.
Oh,
Kratos.
Yeah. Kratos, yes.
See, there you go. There you go. This is a really tricky one. Obviously, Ray is putting in things. I mean, the shields of Dominion have got to be still ultra impressive. That's kind of the point, right? And even Andromeda firing everything would be so much pain. But you got to assume this thing is designed to take on all of the pain, the Dominion. Right? And keep firing. But is there any weapon on the Andromeda that can just rip through shields? I doubt it, because that's absurd level.
Yeah.
See, I feel like just the constant onslaught of Dominion's weapons would do more damage. But I think there's some like world-killing gun, bombs that, what do they call, like proton bombs or whatever, neutron, something from previously where he joked about them. Put it this way, if the Andromeda universe could actively take on a battleship, then it is absurd, right? Because nothing in the Trek universe of a standard ship can take on Dominion. I think this thing would also like give a Borg cube a run for its money, right?
Okay, yeah.
Because we saw what the Galaxy could do with its, I mean, obviously best, the first time, but it could fire phasers through a Borg cube. Fine. And this thing can certainly outmatch a Galaxy, 10 times, 15 times of just raw firepower. So it's obviously going to be able to do huge amounts of damage to Borg cube. So this thing is very, very capable. So if the Andromeda could also take out this, then it's absurd. Because this thing is the Uber ship. So I got to give it to Dominion. I gotta, that's my vote.
Yeah, again, it's feeling like very equally matched ships going up against each other here, so. Well, we have 8 votes in the poll, and it's tied 50-50. So, can we get 10 votes, and we'll see if one can come out on top.
Because the flexibility of what the Andromeda ship can do is going to be way more. But if you've got a big punch, you don't need much more than a few of the big punches, right? So yeah, I mean, I feel Dominion does win this one.
you're picking Dominion. I want to pick the Andromeda universe one.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Wow.
Can we get one more vote in the poll? We have 9 votes currently. Let's get to 10 votes. Come on. Somebody go vote in the poll. Make the difference one way or the other.
It's so free and so easy.
Kind of like Sam on a Friday night. Free and easy.
You're not meant to say that on camera.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right. 10
Don't
votes.
slut shame.
10 votes. We're going to end the poll. Who wins? Oh, 11 votes now. Andromeda bad boy. 55%. So close.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. Because we don't know the abilities of Andromeda except lots.
Yes.
Lots and lots. But yes.
All right.
Cool.
Next up, to continue on with Ray's shenanigans. Starbug versus TARDIS.
The Battle of the Ages.
Well, I'm going to probably say TARDIS on this one.
Oh, they're not up there? Oh.
They are not. No.
Ah, okay.
Right?
I mean, not really a fair comparison, is it, right? Wood versus styrofoam. You know? There's a joke about in the episodes where it's the most powerful, like, packing material. That's why it survives all the impacts. It's a dumb joke, but it's, you know. I mean, Starbug has got a very powerful cannon one time. And a different time it can fire garbage pretty powerfully, right?
Yeah.
And in fairness, it is bigger on the inside.
Yes.
Because it does shift geometry and then it's bigger than even it could be. So it is a weird ship, is old Starbug. But the TARDIS can do literally anything the plot calls for.
Well, they both can.
Well, they both can. Well, yeah.
But so Starbug has no weapons. That's what you're saying.
No, Starbug has weapons, but well, but I mean, sometimes, right? Various seasons it has various weapons depending on how far you're on the plot line. TARDIS never has weapons, so is a ship with no weapons able to win against a ship with basic weapons who obviously can't do anything against the TARDIS? That's the question, right?
Yes, because the TARDIS can manipulate time and go anywhere, do anything, get anyone, load them on board.
That's a technicality.
Is it though? I think that's the crux of the argument right there.
Maybe.
So.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously the TARDIS can just, go inside the other ship and do anything to stop it. That's, its shields ain't blocking anything, right? So I do think it probably wins, yes. Fair to say.
That was an easy one, guys.
That was. That's okay. It made us think. And thinking is half the battle.
Trekyards. Benjamin Stone, £5. Anyone have a match for the first Independence Day Mothership in the chat? Foley Cocking's choice for suggestions.
Now, he might mean the... Oh, he might mean the... He might think he means the flying saucers, but that's not the Mothership. That's the World Destroyer. That's the City Destroyers. So the Mothership is actually a thing at the end that is like so hard to find reference for because it's like so barely in the film. But that's what he said literally. So that absurd, mind-bogglingly big thing. What would be a fun versus something that's just absolutely humongous? Well, there we go. And it's even got a giant circle which might have a beam. Right?
Yeah, there's definitely some Death Star inspired stuff going on with this ship. So,
and according to a thing, The mothership is 596 kilometers in length. So, just to give you some semblance of scale.
I don't think it has a super large planet destroying beam on it, though. So I would assume if the Death Star hypers drives into any system that this thing's in, it's just going to aim its planet beam at it and just annihilate it from the other side of the system. So I'm not quite sure what the mothership's capable of, except for launching a lot of other smaller ships.
It's funny how the Death Star's not as big as you think it is because it's a small moon, but it feels giant. But if this is true, it's 120 to 160 kilometers diameter. Mothership is 596, so it's 5 times larger.
Longer.
Well, sure, well, diameter, but that's the biggest point. Yeah,
yeah.
so it dwarfs it by an absolute literal figure.
So that makes it a big, easy target, much like a planet, for the Death Star. And the Death Star would just destroy it from half a solar system away. Maybe more.
But we know they have shields. They can stop rockets, Stu. Rockets!
Oh,
Rockets!
rocket shields. Whoa, now you're...
Look, have you seen rockets in Star Wars with jet propulsion and some sort of standard payload? Have you? I haven't, right? I mean, look at the Borg in First Contact. Bullets stop them, so why can't rockets stop Death Star? Though, both in... Okay, quick poll, guys. Vote in it.
Dan says, does the Death Star have a computer virus ready to upload? Maybe. Maybe they can transmit it via the beam, the planet-killing beam. So while they destroy a big, huge chunk of this thing, take it right off, the rest of the ship gets infected. And, yeah. I have spoken. This is the way.
Like, what is the purpose of this mothership? In the logic of the grander fleet. I assume it's a colony ship. I assume it's there to do real bad things. But is there any other races in the galaxy that they fight where there's capital ships? Like, there's such a disconnect between, of course, the tech that we know and don't know of this universe. That big giant ship, but it might just be a colony, right? It might be moving their entire race. It might be so many things.
Yeah. I'm making a picture.
Excellent.
Yeah, no, I think the Death Star would have the advantage here.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah. I don't think something 500 kilometers wide could dodge the Death Star beam by going around it. As in, the other side of the thing. Yeah. Can you imagine what Luke would say if he came out of hyperspace in New Hope and he got the Death Star and this behind it? That's no moon. That's a bigger not moon. Bloody hell! Because it's like 2.5 times the size of the second Death Star, so it's real big. Real big. Sorry, what were you going
to say? To be fair, it looks like the Death Star could wear this thing as a hat. Like, one of those long anime type style hats. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say, I'm not quite sure what the mothership is capable of besides launching all the planet. I think it launches the city destroyer ships from the bottom of it. So, does it have a super powerful beam weapon? Looks like it might, but don't know for sure. So, yeah.
I'm probably... That doesn't help.
Perfect.
Well, yeah. But if it could launch a literal mini fleet of the motherships, the world destroyer things, and each of them have a beam that can destroy many things, then I wonder if they went in orbit around, on a visual, just went orbit around Death Star and just fired beams into it. That'd be a bad day, right? That'd be pretty damaging.
Yeah.
Lots of unique use cases right there. Sure, why not?
The mothership stabs the Death Star with the spikes, stopping it from aiming. Yeah, yeah. The Death Star hyperspace jumps in, and then this thing like comes up and just starts like slamming it with those spikes on
Wow.
the bottom. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've learned so much today, Stuart. I think we are filled with knowledge. Filled with knowledge.
And bullshit. You know it's true.
That's a hell of one to end on, though. Just insane degree ships. Oh, stations, well. I mean, they're both ships. They both fly.
Let's see. Well, with
Gosh.
10 votes in the poll, who wins? Death Star 1 wins with 60%. Haha, I knew it.
Cool.
Perfect. All right.
I like it.
Well, these are always fun, guys.
Yeah. Wow.
Especially the multiverse ones, because then it gets really crazy.
Yes.
Star Trek's a little bit more, discussion based, because we can kind of determine what things are capable of.
Often
But
just they win. Done.
Yeah. But I really do enjoy the kind of just fucking around with these. Anyhow.
Wonderfully random. Wonderfully random.
Thanks to you guys, yes.
And it does make you think. It does make you try and find a common ground, a commonality. It is interesting, as daft as it is. It is pretty interesting.
Things that make you go, All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in tomorrow for something else crazy and weird.
Tune in for something else. Probably Star Trek, maybe not though. But probably. Maybe not. Probably though.
Yet to be determined.
TBD.
To be determined, yes. In the meantime, he's Commander Cockings.
And no one did the goddamn thumbnail versus. Just want to point that out. It was right there in front of the whole time. He's Captain Foley.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.